welcome to this week's episode of Besterday, where nostalgia reigns supreme. I'm Bianca, and I'm your ultimate 90s baby, and I'm with my special guest co-host.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke. I'm Fuse's social media manager.
All right, we are so excited to have Brooke on because she hasn't been on a podcast yet, so this is like her big debut, and I'm so excited.
Here I am, world.
Yay!
Hope you're ready for me.
All right, guys, so Besterday is a podcast where we always reminisce on the songs out of your heart, the movies that made you laugh, and everything pop culture from the 80s to the early aughts. So think all that, Sonic the Hedgehog, what else? Powerpuff Girls. What's some other references? That's all I got this week.
Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold's a good one. All right. So before we get started, make sure to hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram and whenever your heart desires. And also send us suggestions and rate us on iTunes. And follow myself, Bianca, and Rogue on Twitter. And what's your Twitter, Brooke?
On Twitter, I am at Brooke, Brooke, one extra E, Bunce, Bunce. At Brooke Bunce, I made and I forgot the password. So now I have Brooke
Really?
E. Bunce.
There you go. All right, so let's get started, people. All right, so this week in history segment, it's a lot of it's a mix of political things.
There's
and
some
music.
dark things on here.
Yeah, this week wasn't very thrilling for the pop culture world. So first up, in 1995, the live coverage of the O.J. Simpson trial began. So daytime network soap operas, they took a break for almost a year because they were live broadcasting the trial. So, I
didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, we were kids. I was 3 or 4 when that happened, so I don't know anything about it. But I remember, my grandparents always saying, oh, yeah, I remember always watching the trial on TV, and it was like a drama for them because it was so exciting. But
My memories of that trial are mostly come from watching VH1's Best Week Ever, and whenever they would talk about it, or I Love the 90s.
Mhm.
They would talk about it all the time,
Yeah.
and that was my reference point for it.
I missed those shows because I learned so much about one-hit wonders and stuff from that.
That's basically the
Yeah.
only reason I know anything about 70s or 80s culture is from I Love the blank.
Yeah. Fuse should probably bring that back.
Let's revive it.
Hint, hint, people. Okay. January 27th, 1984, Michael Jackson's hair infamously got caught on fire when he was filming his Pepsi commercial. And on January 25th, 1964, the Beatles got their first #1 hit with I Wanna Hold Your Hand on the Billboard Hot 100. And January 26th, 1998, this is the most scandalous one. President Bill Clinton, he appeared on TV, and I did not have sexual relations with that woman, a.k.a. Monica Lewinsky, which we all know he did. We saw the dress, Bill.
Iconic. I'm watching
So
a video
iconic.
of Michael Jackson's hair catching on fire right
it's
now.
so tragic because he did. I remember he didn't notice that it was because he was just dancing in the zone, and then they all had to
everyone
pat him
runs
down.
up.
Yeah.
And, oh my God. He had no
Yeah.
idea, and it is on fire.
It is so wild.
Damn, that's dedication right there.
Yeah.
Keep dancing through the fire.
Oh yeah, that's
literally lit, literally flames.
so lit. All the flame emojis.
Michael Jackson was the fire emoji before we even had
Yeah.
a way to
He's
express.
just always ahead of his time. Look at
Really?
that.
That's dangerous,
Yeah.
though. Think about all the amount of hair product and how flammable
Oh
it is.
yeah, because it was the '80s, so they didn't really have natural hair products or anything. It was all grease. Oh my God.
Yes.
Poor Michael.
My hair caught on
Yeah.
fire once at a bar. I'm not
Wait.
kidding when I say this.
Wait, tell the story.
It was a bar in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn, and they had little candles out, just little tea lights. And my hair was a lot longer then, actually. This was 2 years ago. And I bent down to take a drink. This was
Yeah.
also in the afternoon on a Saturday, but this bar was
It was
so dark
Yeah.
that I bent down to take a drink, and my hair it flashed, and I grabbed it with my hand.
Well, so you caught it
And-
in time before.
Yes.
Okay.
And no one in the bar noticed until they smelled. They go, "What smells like burning hair?"
Yeah.
But they didn't notice the actual flame or me grabbing it. And
Oh.
It didn't go up to my scalp, thank God, but it was
Yeah.
just like a big chunk of my hair just like
Oh my
fell
God.
out.
Wait, did you tell anyone like what happened, or you just like brushed it
I
off
was
like, oh, I don't know what that smell is?
I was with the guy I was dating at the time, and he saw it, and his
Yeah.
eyes just got huge
Oh
because
my
he didn't
God.
understand what had happened.
Yeah.
And then when people were saying, "What's that smell?" like I just pretended like I didn't know what was happening and ran
Oh my
away
God.
because it was pretty embarrassing.
Yikes. Well, I'm glad that it didn't
Dangerous
like escalate.
kids. Like if I had let it just happen for as long as Michael
Yeah.
did, I don't know what
Oh
my hair would look like currently.
Whew. Sad times, sad times.
So real candles are dangerous.
Yeah, guys, please be careful, especially if you love Bath and Body Works like Brooke and I do. Try to take caution when you're around candles. All right, so we're gonna move forward to today's news and current pop culture. So today we realized that Sailor Moon Crystal, the anime, is coming to a sequel, which is really cool. So basically, the anime franchise is celebrating its 25th anniversary. So they're coming out with a sequel, a new Blu-ray DVD collection, makeup, all this really cool stuff. So that's really exciting. Yeah. Were you a Sailor Moon fan when you were younger?
No, actually. I have like very limited knowledge, unfortunately. But I wish I had been.
Yeah, I watched it when I was a kid, and I was like, I always wanted to be part of the Sailor Scouts, but clearly I wasn't. It's kind of a dream.
I think it's an amazing Halloween costume
It
whenever I
is.
see it.
That would be good for like, ooh, I'm getting ideas for like a group Halloween costume.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very cool. All right, next up, guys, Wayne's World is returning to theaters for its 25th anniversary as well. I always feel old when I talk about anniversaries. Like, I don't realize how many years have passed. And, I mean, this movie came out, you know, when I was a newborn infant. So I didn't watch it in theaters, but I remember watching it, like, a few years after. And it is hilarious. It's such a good movie.
You know, I only just watched Wayne's World for the first time last year.
Yeah.
Embarrassing to admit.
Better
but
late than never.
I appreciated it so much.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted that to be my Halloween costume this year. But I didn't have another person to do it with me.
Ah, that's a good one, too. Guys, hashtag Besterday. Let us know if you want to be Brooke's Halloween costume
Someone
partner.
be my Garth. Hashtag I want to be Brooke's Garth.
There you go.
Please.
So in other TV news, this one personally really excited me because I was obsessed with MTV when I was younger. So My Super Sweet 16 is getting a reboot. Now, you guys know I always talk about how much I hate reboots because they never get done properly, but I feel like this one could have potential.
This one could be done properly because
Yeah.
the stakes are kind of low.
Exactly. Like, it
You
wasn't like a Gossip Girl or something. Like, it was just like a regular reality show.
Like, we're not
So-
relying on actors that we loved who
Yeah.
are trying to, like, pretend that they're the same age as they were when the original happened. Like,
Yeah.
we're just relying on real teen girls, and, like, that's never not going to be satisfying.
Exactly. You could always find a girl. Entertainment Weekly wrote, "Girls and boys willing to unleash their inner Veruca Salt," and I feel like that's so spot on. Yeah, I feel like there's always a bevy of bratty kids around who would want to be on the show.
Did you have a favorite episode or favorite moment?
I remember the person's name, but they were in their Super Sweet 16 party, and they threw up on the floor, like in the middle of the dance floor. I don't remember the person's name, but that was like something that stuck in my mind. And like Tiana Taylor had her Super Sweet 16. Remember there was a girl who wanted like all pink all day, every day. I was like, girl, this is too much. But she got it done anyway. What were some other like highlights? Do you remember?
I really hope they keep the theme song.
Yeah.
If like I think that would be amazing if they updated like the title cards, but if they kept the Hillary Duff,
original. Yeah.
because that just made it iconic. Do you remember
Exactly.
Jennifer Lawrence was in a commercial?
Oh yeah, she was. She was like promoting it. Yeah, that was before like she was Jennifer Lawrence.
So many greats
Yeah.
got their
classic.
start, and so I feel like the next
Yeah.
generation of greats could get their start
It's
on this
true.
reboot.
So true.
And I feel like Instagram and social media is going to be a huge element to
Oh, for sure. And like
Sweet 16.
they're gonna be like Snapchatting the entire time and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that could be a cool like technology integration too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so last up in the TV world, Netflix is not reviving Girl Meets World. There was a report saying that the streaming company was going to pick it up after the show got canceled. But now, unfortunately, Girl Meets World fans, you can't watch it on Netflix. But you can still watch it on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and a ton of other streaming services. So all is not horrible. But
Well,
yeah.
I'm hoping that it gets a revival somewhere because I don't know much about this show. I will have to say I've never watched it
Yeah.
because I never watched Boy Meets World.
What?
I know.
Wait.
I know.
Wait. Where were you from like 1997 to like 2003? What happened?
I was like the weirdo that only watched like Nickelodeon and then like shows that were
Okay.
like way too advanced for me. Like I was
Yeah.
watching CSI and like South
So you
Park
weren't about that
and-
like ABC Family life?
No, I was not an
Really?
ABC Family or Disney girl.
Oh my god.
I was too edgy. Are you
Well,
kidding me?
Excuse me, Brooke.
I also have two older brothers, so like I would watch
Yeah.
what they watched,
Oh,
which
that,
was
that
usually
makes
inappropriate.
sense. But Boy Meets World, it's probably one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
Like, because they deal with like real life teenage problems, like since they like were elementary kids up until college, so you can see like the growth and like all their personal experiences and stuff. It's very relatable.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
And it seems like Girl Meets World has like a really great fan base
Mhm.
based on the responses of things we've written about and put on social.
Yeah.
So I really hope that it gets a new home somewhere. Disney might not have been the best channel for it. I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool if even like Amazon Prime picked it up and
Yeah,
started
that'd
making
be good.
new episodes of it.
Yeah, they'll find a home soon.
And-
I have faith in Girl Meets World.
Rowan Blanchard is just like incredible.
She is awesome. I didn't realize until like we started writing about it more on the website. I'm like, this girl is really amazing.
She is like
Yeah.
far wiser than like her age would
Oh,
suggest.
for sure. Yeah,
and-
I wasn't at that mindset when I was her age.
No.
So
I mean, she
kudos
just
to
spoke
her.
at the Women's March.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So awesome.
So I'm excited to see where else her career takes her, to be honest.
Same here. All right, guys. So, in the midst of all the nostalgia, this week on Fuse is really, really exciting because it is dun 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 Class of 2007 week. So we're kicking it back to everything that happened during that awesome year, including the most 2007 things to happen in 2007, exciting TV premieres, the songs that you forgot about, and also Brooke made this really cool Kardashian quiz, which is really hard because I've been watching the Kardashians since season 1, and I got a 5 out of 10. And I was disappointed in myself. I was like, I could have gotten a 10 out of 10. But yeah.
So I challenge everyone to take the How Much Do You Remember of Season 1 of Keeping Up with the
Yeah.
Kardashians quiz by me. It's only Season 1 trivia questions, which seems pretty easy because Season 1 was, 6 episodes? 8
yeah,
episodes?
it wasn't that long at all.
But I go really deep in this. And so I have some fun facts for you about Keeping Up.
All right.
Do you know where the name Keeping Up with the Kardashians comes from?
Was it like Ryan Seacrest he was like, oh, I can't keep up with like what's happening with your family. I think he was talking to Kris Jenner about it. I'm not sure.
Basically,
Am I close?
yes.
Okay.
So not Ryan Seacrest, but one of the producers on the show.
Okay.
They didn't have that name until like a week before it premiered, actually. But one of the producers said they were exhausted because they can't keep up with these girls.
Look at that. And we still can't
So
keep up with them.
Right, exactly.
10 years later.
I mean, I'm still like behind on all Kardashian news. Not that I have a Google alert set up or anything, but
No judgment here.
and it premiered October 14th of 2007.
Yeah.
So look out for that actual 10-year anniversary.
Oh my, I cannot believe I've been watching the show for 10 years.
It's the longest running reality TV show currently
That
on
is
TV.
incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
man.
is insane. And another fun fact.
All right.
Not necessarily about the first season, but did you know Kim blow dries her jewelry before she puts it on?
Really?
I don't know why she does.
That's such a strange habit. Like,
She blow dries her jewelry.
is it because sometimes jewelry could get cold and she doesn't want that on her chest or something?
She says on her Twitter, I blow dry all my jewelry before I put it on. I can't stand putting on cold jewelry. It gives me the chills.
That's so
Kim,
weird.
I relate. Cold jewelry, like, is there anything worse?
Oh my god.
Also, Kris Jenner has
Yeah.
black toilet paper in all her bathrooms.
Oh yeah, I know that fact. I mean, that's so Kris Jenner because she's like all about the black and white decor. Her entire house is black and white with like silver accents because clearly I've been to that house before and I know everything. But yeah, she has black toilet paper, which is kind of cool because I feel like the white could be too basic sometimes.
You know, sometimes you really just have to step up your TP game.
You really
with black
do,
toilet
guys.
paper.
Get it together.
It might make the whole thing a more enjoyable experience as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, those are the fun facts I have for
I love
you.
those. Yeah, guys. So we've been having Class of '07 week all week, and it's going to end on Friday. So definitely check out Brooke's quiz and let us know on Twitter your scores. Share them with us.
Please do. Hashtag I got a perfect score on Brooke's Kardashian quiz.
I love all these hashtags.
Quiz with a
yes.
K.
All right, guys. This is always my favorite part of the podcast, the major anniversary appreciation. And this week, I still can't believe it, but A Walk to Remember turns 15 on this day. We're recording on the 25th, but you guys are going to hear this on Thursday, but today is the actual anniversary, which is amazing to me. So Brooke and I called upon Brooke because she's also a huge fan of the movie, and we kind of like bonded before the podcast, like, oh my god, like this movie was amazing. So yeah, so do you remember the first time that you watched the movie? Like, where were you?
Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah.
The first time was at a sleepover for my friend Katie's 12th birthday, 13th maybe. But she was like a popular girl, so I was very surprised I was invited. And we watched A Walk to Remember.
Yeah. So my first time was, I was 11 years old, and I've been a Girl Scout since I was like 6 or 7. And I remember one of our Girl Scout meetings, we watched A Walk to Remember at my leader's house. And that was like, it was like on a Saturday afternoon. That was my first time watching the movie.
Did you all cry?
Yeah. It was, yeah, I remember there were some tears shed because it's such an emotional movie. For guys you don't know, Walk to Remember stars Mandy Moore and Shane West. And the movie is based on a Nicholas Sparks novel, of course, because Nicholas Sparks is all about that romance. And the movie,
Romance King.
The Romance King.
He created it.
Yes. And the movie follows, it's kind of like the bad boy versus good girl type of plot. So Shane plays Landon, who is a bad boy in school, and he ends up falling in love with Jamie, who is played by Mandy Moore, and he doesn't realize that she has leukemia until she tells him, and it's just like them trying to find love and happiness. They get married before Jamie unfortunately passes away from cancer. So that is like a plot summation in like less than a minute, but it's way deeper than what I just explained. So do you have any like favorite scenes from the movie?
I honestly think my favorite scene is when, and it's so corny too.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole
movie is so cheap. Okay.
Overtone of
Can
this
I just
movie
tell
is
you,
corny.
I was watching this last night, and looking back 15 years now that I'm 25, I'm like, this movie is so cheesy. Like, no one falls in love this way. Like, it just like blew my mind how unreal it was. But when I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, I want a guy like Landon to like swoop me off my feet. And I was like, it was such a hot mess. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie scene?
Rewatching clips of this on YouTube, you'll see that the top comments are usually, I need a guy like Landon.
Yeah.
Which is like sad all at once and also cute because no one is Landon. No
Not
guy
at all.
exists like that on Earth.
I never met a guy like Landon.
If you're out there, please, hashtag I am Landon.
Another iconic Brooke hashtag.
My favorite scene, though, is like the very end when he goes back to the dad's house to tell him, the Reverend's house to tell him that he's gotten into medical school, and he says, I'm sad I couldn't give her the miracle from her bucket list.
Yeah, and he was like, you were the miracle.
Gets me every
Cue
time.
The tears.
It's but the thing is, like, that was such an emotionally heavy moment, and Shane West He can't act. I'm sorry.
He's
His
a
good
horrible
looks
actor.
can't save him.
One thing that like really annoyed me about him, like he always purses his lips a little too much, and like it just looks so
That's exactly
unnatural.
what he did at that moment.
Yeah.
Literally, like I thought there was gonna be some like emotionally resonant
but he's
look
just
on
like,
his face,
I'm pursing my tears,
and he just kind of opens his
I'm
lips.
Like, ugh.
He didn't smile or anything.
No,
nothing.
It's so awkward. And like he's I think he's like 38 years old now, and he still does the pursed lips thing. I'm like, dude, you're not in your teens anymore. Cut it out.
He has nice lips. Like
I mean,
they're
he's
good,
very
shaped.
handsome, but it's just like I need some more dynamic from you here.
Yeah. Did not have a big range of emotions, but I think he was really good for that role.
Yeah.
Mandy as well.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we all know the iconic Only Hope scene, which is like the top scene watched on YouTube, where they're in the play and then Mandy sings Only Hope, and then Shane, well, I'll call them by their character names. Landon, he like gets enraptured and he's like, "Oh my gosh, she's actually wearing makeup. I like her now." Okay. Yeah, so he's like staring longingly into her eyes, and then he does an unpredictable kiss, and then they stare at each other behind the curtain. That was very emotional.
That's your favorite scene?
That's one of my favorites. And I think what other favorites. Ooh, I like when they go to the cemetery, and Landon brings like the blankets, and like they look through the telescope, and it's very like cute in like a nerdy way, because they're all like cuddled up, and like he like finally understood her world and like wanted to like help her like look at the stars, and like he got a star named after her and all that.
That was very
I was like,
sweet.
that's so. I want a guy to do that to me.
He built her a telescope.
So cute. Like, who does that? What guy does? Guys, honestly, please, okay. Personal callback. I just like signed up for dating sites, and I do not like it at all. Like, there are so many like random guy messages and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this any longer. But guys, #Besterday if you know a guy like Landon to hook me up with, because I cannot do these dating sites anymore. Just let me know. Let me know.
And if you can build stuff, please let us know.
Yeah,
like,
that would be awesome.
Season 1, Gilmore Girls, Dean builds Rory a car, and they're like instantly in love.
Like,
but then he like breaks up with her. But like building a girl something will guarantee.
We appreciate it
love.
so much. Were there any other like moments in the movie that you remember?
Like when he punches the guy in the cafeteria.
Yeah. Oh,
because
Dean.
they made that poster of her. Which
it was the most horrible Photoshop of life.
So the one of the comments on YouTube during that scene was, who photoshopped that trash?
It's so true. I remember when I was young, I was like, oh my God, look what they did to her body. But it's like literally
a black and white photo of her face on
and like a colored body. And like, this does not match at all.
But at the time, that technology was like, it's like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
This is
like
real
I remember
Photoshop.
after the fight, like we said, it's just so cheesy. And I remember Dean, like they were just overacting, and I remember he was like, "Oh, don't mess with me again." With like these
he does that with his hands.
Weird hand moves. I'm like, what does this mean?
He does like a rock on with his hands.
Yeah,
points
like
it
pointing
at Landon. It's
and
like, we're done.
I'm like, is that a threat?
You punched him once.
Yeah, like it's not that serious.
We're done. That's what I thought was hilarious. The way he was pointing at him.
That was one of like the moments that wasn't supposed to be funny, but I laughed so hard anyway. And Landon's best friend too. He was always. Did you notice like he was very sexual? Like he was always like. I remember he saying, "Oh, Jamie, I want to like pop her like a Pop-Tart or something," and like he had all these sexual references. I'm like, I understand you're a teenager and your hormones are probably raging, but tone it down. Like you're doing too much.
It was like people in the writers' room were like, okay, what do like bad kids in high school talk about?
Exactly.
What do bad kids
What are the
do?
rebels saying?
They like drive around in cars and like stare and like Photoshop.
And like even the beginning of the movie where they're doing the dare and they're jumping off of that little like tower. Like who actually does that in high school? Do people actually jump off as like peer pressure? Or is that just in the movies?
I will say in high school we used to go cliff jumping, but it was a little different.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And that's also growing up in Ohio. That's what you do for fun. But basically we would like go to like rocks and then jump in the water. But it was
Yeah.
never, like, as a dare.
Yeah,
And
I felt like that was a weird form of peer pressure.
It was North Carolina, so I
That's true.
I think
Yeah, it
that
was, like, different.
influenced the setting heavily.
Yeah, that's true. And another cute moment was there where Landon brought Jamie into the state lines where it was like between North Carolina and Virginia. And she's like, "You're standing in two places at the same time." I was like, "Swoon."
It was sweet.
That
and
was
then
so
he gives her
adorable.
the temporary tattoo of the butterfly.
Yeah.
So
That was a little
sweet.
scandalous because she was looking like, "Hey,
Yeah, it
see
was-
this shoulder."
That was a lot of skin.
Yeah. A lot of skin.
They never implied that they slept together, did they? In the movie?
No, because I remember
very
even when
chaste.
it was. I mean, because there was a lot of Christian. It wasn't even undertones. It was like overtly religious. Like looking back, I was like, I didn't realize like how much like they spoke about like Christianity. Yeah, because like her dad was a reverend, and she sung in the church choir. She had a Bible always with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was very intense. And also the soundtrack was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Only Hope is like the song.
You want to know a funny story with that song?
Yeah.
Full of funny stories today. So in 8th grade, I tried out for the show choir, for the
Yeah.
high school show choir, and I sang Only Hope as my song.
Ooh.
I did not get in. Just gonna tell everyone now, but that's
Yeah.
because I was just like a terrified 13-year-old that had stage fright and
Yeah.
wasn't really that great of a singer in the first place. But
I'm sure you were fine.
I still have like in my iTunes, I still have like the karaoke version of Only Hope
Yeah.
because that was like my soundtrack to
That's
my
so
tryouts.
cute.
So I know all the words to that song,
Yeah.
and like I remember singing it in my bedroom, like practicing late at night because I didn't want my parents to hear me
Aw.
singing it. So it holds a special place in my
yeah,
heart.
that's such an adorable story. Yeah, that I mean, I didn't realize that Mandy's version is a cover of Switchfoot's Only Hope.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't realize that because I know Switchfoot. They also had "Dare You to Move" on the soundtrack, which was also featured in One Tree Hill. By the way,
I
if you
had
guys
that
know.
CD. I loved Switchfoot.
Oh, did you really?
But I didn't realize they were a Christian rock band.
Yeah, I didn't
for a
realize
long
either.
time.
I just thought they were just like alternative rock.
Right.
But
Kind of miss Switchfoot.
yeah, hopefully they make a comeback. If you guys are listening, let us know if you guys want Switchfoot to make a big comeback next year.
I'm checking to see when their last album was because there's a good chance they're still making music and I'm not listening to it. Oh, they have an album from 2016, so
Oh well, they're
no
not
comeback
promoting
needed.
enough. Hopefully we'll give this more promo for them.
I do think they started to lean more heavily on their like Christian influence.
Okay.
And I do think that like Christian rock, like Switchfoot and Reliant K, had like this huge comeuppance, and Paramore because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
Christian rock.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And then some of it splintered more into like deviating from that, and then some of it just really
like went all in.
embraced the Christianity aspect.
Yeah.
But I loved Switchfoot, actually. They were like my favorite band at this
Wow,
time.
look at that. Fun fact.
Dare You to Move was so good. Still a good song,
Yeah,
I
it
gotta say.
is. Well, I don't want to sound cliche, but it is very moving.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It is.
I don't know, just whenever you hear it, you just get some like motivation, like you just want to do better in your life. It's such a good song.
Yeah, no matter your beliefs, I'd say Dare You to Move and like
Yeah.
Meant to Live are really good songs.
Awesome. And I just feel like Mandy Moore, clearly she was the star of the film, and I feel like even back then she didn't get enough praise. Because I mean, she came out in '99 with like the Britney and Christina and Jessica's, and she was the youngest out of the three girls. So I feel like she was kind of in the shadows because she was only 15 when she came in the pop world. Everyone else was like, Britney was like, I think Britney was 19. I think Christina was 18. Jessica was 18. So she was like a little baby, but I feel like A Walk to Remember kind of like solidified her as like she could sing and she could act. So that was a good like career move for her, I think.
And clearly, with This Is Us,
I mean,
she's
she's
like,
just killing it. Hello, Emmy nominated.
she's had such a resurgence now, and
Yeah.
like you can tell she's a legit actress.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, because like even with like Tangled, she killed that too.
I think it's smart for her to take the acting route instead of trying to create music career when she started.
Yeah.
At the time of Christina, Britney, and now she's kind of like, okay, well, I'll just take a different path instead of trying to revive this.
Exactly.
Music
Yeah, because
career
like her last album was in 2009. So like I think once she released that, she just kind of was like, okay, let me just focus on what I really, really love.
And to be fair, I don't think she was like the most talented singer of those girls.
No, I just feel like it was just part of that manufactured pop era where everyone was just doing like all the like bubblegum pop songs, and it wasn't as genuine as like a Britney who did it like for so many decades.
And she's like but she's like so striking. Like Mandy Moore is beautiful.
She is gorgeous. Yeah, I especially love when she dyed her hair brunette. Like that just like sealed the deal.
Yeah. And I think that this is gonna sound so like cruel of me, but I think that her divorce from Ryan Adams actually helped her.
Oh, guys,
the lights just
went
out.
All right, we have to move around a little bit.
Does this happen?
Yeah, this does. Yeah, but yeah, her divorce from Ryan Adams.
I kind of think I think it boosted her career a little bit, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like she's better off without him now. Like she's doing so well, and Ryan Adams is covering Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
So guess who won in that?
No insult to Ryan Adams, but I'll take Mandy Moore any day.
Oh, for sure.
Mandy Moore and Saved.
Yes.
Like my favorite.
God, yes. Okay, so another one of my favorite parts of the podcast is the throwback song of the week. That was a horrible introduction, but we're gonna roll with it. So this is the part where we surprise each other with a song. So, I mean, since you're the special guest, you could go first.
Okay, well, my song. So I was looking at Mandy Moore's Spotify for obvious reason.
Yeah.
Looking at the related artists, and I came across an old fave that hasn't had any music since 2003. So she's really solidified. Like she's of that era, and it is Stacey Orico.
Shut up.
And the song is Stuck.
I'm stuck.
I can't take it. Karaoke.
That is a jam. What I hate you, but I love you. I'm always thinking of you. It's true. I'm stuck on you.
I was gonna do There's Gotta Be More to Life, but that was like too obvious.
Yeah, Stuck is like, that's the jam. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you brought that up. I'm gonna listen to it after this podcast.
And I looked to see what she was up to. And Wikipedia has a section here that's 2013 through present. So at least she's been doing enough to have a section on Wikipedia that says that.
The thing is, as you know, I run my Then and Now column where I talk about throwback artists, interview them, and I've been trying to get Stacey Orico for the longest time. But I did get in contact with the publicist, and they're like trying to make it work. But she hasn't been like active musically, so they're like waiting for the right moment. So I'm like crossing my fingers, guys. Give me some like love. Hopefully I get the Stacey Orico interview.
That would be amazing. That would be a perfect Then and Now column.
I know,
but
she's so awesome.
As recently as 2015, she performed with John Baptiste and Stay Human.
She's doing something
for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and she made a YouTube video that said she's coming back. So we're gonna hold you to it, Stacey.
Yeah, we are waiting. It has been 2 years. You need another hit, girl. Okay, so my throwback song is, it's kind of obvious because we're talking about Mandy Moore. And I was introduced with her with Candy.
Of course.
Ooh, oh.
Princess Diaries.
Yeah. But yeah. Yes, vocals.
Yeah. She's so breathy. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to say about A Walk to Remember is that, like, Mandy Moore, like, whisper talked more in that movie than anyone I've ever seen.
I don't know, like, if the director was like, you're like the human angel, you have to speak like that, but if that was actually like the way she wanted to speak.
She was very breathy. Like the part where they're looking at the telescope, she's like, come here. You have to come here now and see this.
It was a little annoying at times, like, girl, use your outside voice.
Yeah, I don't know if they wanted Jamie to be like this, little timid spirit, but
That's what it felt like. I mean, because she was like the holy child of the Reverend, so.
I'm glad that Mandy Moore isn't as breathy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even
voice.
Candy was like super, super breathy. Mm-hmm. But I feel like her later songs, she has like a very like husky voice. So maybe that was just like the thing to do in the 90s. Because even Britney, she transformed her voice from husky to like baby talk. So. That was a thing. But Candy, that's my throwback song of the week. So guys, we have a Spotify playlist always in our post, so we'll add those songs so you guys could jam just like us. All right, guys. So that is a wrap for this week's episode of Besterday. Thank you so much, Brooke, for coming. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Remember the hashtags, everyone. Hashtag I am Landon. Hashtag I am Bianca's Landon. Hashtag I will be Brooke's Garth. Hashtag I got this score on Brooke's Kardashian quiz with a K.
Yes. Please remember that. I'm going to add this to the post so you guys make sure you remember these iconic hashtags.
You really don't have to.
I really am. This is amazing. So, and also hashtag Besterday on Twitter and Instagram and whatever you feel like it. And also rate us on iTunes. Give us some lovely stars. Follow myself again, Bianca and Rogue, and you Brooke. On Twitter.
At Brooke E. Bunce.
Brooke E. Bunce with 2 E's, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. So that is a wrap for this week. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening.